Hello and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion's Prototype Challenge Season 2. My name's Mark and join me in the commentary booth is Steve. Steve, how you doing?
I'm fantastic, Mark. Thank you very much. It's great to be here at Watkins, Glen, and one of my favourite tracks actually. Although I wasn't able to get here because I was working nights, so it was a bit of a pity really for not being able to race in this one.
It is certainly a good, fun track. It's certainly a fan favourite, and I know there are quite a few drivers on the grid who absolutely love this track. So as we look at championship standings, we saw there in the LMP2, Luca Keki doing well. In the LMP3, we've got Malarin on top. Good chunk ahead of Meesters, but Bright, Meesters, they're still within touching distance of Malarin with 2 races left.
Yeah, it's very tight up the top there.
As we look at Teams Championship, so at LMP2, RaceGitter.de, just slightly ahead of Wizards Fire Ruby. Those two, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. Stupid Aguri a little bit further back. They're still mathematically in contention, but it's going to be a bit of a stretch for them. They're going to have to pull out 2 absolute corkers.
Yeah, it's important for them to get first and second, I think, really, to put a challenge up there. And the LMP3s there, we see No Slots, No Glory challenging Wizards Green Emerald. Not many points behind them actually. We've got 50 points, so that's also doable. I think Cool Camel Silver there, just slightly too far behind now on 540 points.
Indeed, but yep, still all to play for. As we see Maxwell on pole. He is our reigning champion, of course. Aaron Knight, newcomer to the Limit of Adhesion. He's in second, with Luca Keki third.
Yeah, well, it's a big hello to Aaron Knight. Aaron Knight, my apologies. And fingers crossed he can challenge Stephen Maxwell there at the front. A great qualifying there from him.
In LMP3, we've got Tua Malarin on pole position. That's no surprise, of course. But Innes there in second. That's brilliant for him. And Zhao Tome in third.
Yeah, some great qualifying results there for the drivers that haven't been there consistently through the season.
Indeed, of course. Last time Innes was on track, he was winning in the USF. So he's probably still riding the high of that. So yeah, fingers crossed he gets another good result in the LMP3.
Yeah, definitely.
So as we see the drivers on track, the safety car will peel off into the pits at the last minute. There we go. Maxwell will lead us to the green flag. And he's gone. We are racing at Watkins Glen. Maxwell with an absolutely storming start there. We've got Lugo Keki up the inside of Knight. There we go, and they look to all be safely through turn 1. Can't see any carnage. So all just starting to settle in now. That's Parker tucked up behind Kuzmarek and looking to try and get past. Kuzmarek, of course, also in the tow of Kelly. Meanwhile, in the LMP3s, we've got 3 Wizards in a row. As we see Knight going to the inside of Dugokeki. Oh, they touch. As do Kuzmarek and Kelly, and Parker is collected as well. There's a big crash that has taken out pretty much all of the LMP2s. So we've got Maxwell, Knight, and Lugokeki survived that. Everyone else in the LMP2 field was involved.
Yeah, unfortunately as well for the stupid Aguris, that basically, I think, virtually takes out their challenge for anything more in the championship, with both cars being completely destroyed.
There is Kelly with not much of a front end.
We've got a stupid Aguri going backwards.
I know, that's Parker deciding that his car must obviously be going faster in reverse than it would be in going forwards. We have Dan Rice without a front half of his car. I'm hoping that he's realised that he's not got front end of his car.
Well, was it Don Parker that finished? Was it Sebring with half a car?
You are absolutely right, yes. He did.
So maybe he's trying to take a leaf out of Tom's book there.
I don't think it is. That's right into the pit lane. So meanwhile, we've got Lugakeki tucked right up behind Knight. There is Maxwell in the lead. Lugakeki is looking for a way past. Here we are on board with Knight. We do not have that horrible, awkward bus stop to worry about. So the cars will go straight down to the loop section. Or they go through the chute and into the boot section.
It looked like a car off on the left-hand side there.
I think that might be Parker. Meanwhile, Malarin still in the lead, followed closely by Innis. Xiao Tome not too far behind, and in fact, yep, that is Parker, who's decided that he doesn't want to retire the car and watch from the pit lane. He wants front row seats to this action.
I've paid and I'm not going out.
Indeed. Lugakeki getting a little bit sideways there, tucked up behind Knight. Meanwhile, Maxwell is starting to stretch his legs out the front. But no way through for Lugakeki just yet.
That's easy for you to say.
It's not actually. I've had half a glass of wine. Or a glass and a half of wine.
Who's counting?
Not me, obviously. Oh, a little blink there for Knight. Hopefully we won't have connection issues getting in the way of this fight. It looks like Lugakeki tucked right up behind Knight, and he'll be desperate to find a way past and start chasing after Maxwell. There is Parker still sat there on the left-hand side, not going anywhere. Lugakeki, though, just not able to find a way past. You see, he's able to keep that gap at sort of 4/10 or so. But I think maybe getting too much in the dirty air. Meanwhile, Innes is sticking with Malarin reasonably well. They're starting to open up a bit of a gap to Terme behind. Got that gap to about a second.
Yeah, it seems as though Innis is able to stick within about half a second to 6-7 tenths. But Malarin seems to have him at just arm's length and keeping him there at the moment.
Indeed. And Innes there with the fastest lap of the race. The 10th or so quicker than Malarin. And here we are looking on board with Malarin, looking back at Innes. We see Innes getting ever closer. Well, Innes look to the inside. Not quite close enough. You see, oh, that was a brilliant shot there with the camera and the curb.
Definitely, the sound of the engines as well as went over the camera. Fantastic.
Yes.
We've got a bit of a weave
Malarin
there.
weaving a little bit there. Are we going to see a return of the Walker weave? No, definitely starting to open up that gap to Terme a little bit. That gap's now about 1.5 to 2 seconds.
It'll be interesting to see down the really long straight whether Marquez is able to pull out and make the pass on Malarin there as well.
Indeed. I mean, yeah, there is. You can get a bit of a slipstream in this car. It can be quite effective. We see Winslade and Bright there, the two no slots, no glory cars. And, I mean, strangely enough, considering that half the field feels like it's Cool Camel Racing, I don't think we've got a single Cool Camel Racing driver on the grid. As we see Malarin defending the inside, Innis to the outside. Will Innis be able to hold it right around the outside of the next corner? Malarin has the inside line. Innis is going to try. They get very close. They don't quite touch, but Malarin with that inside line. Of course, Innis will have the inside line for the next corner, but he's not close enough. Malarin keeps the lead.
Yeah, the only Cool Camel driver we've got on the grid at the moment is Rich Meesters there in 7th place.
Indeed,
not a strong showing for Rich at the moment at all.
No, but Rich is a very quick guy, so I'm sure in race 2 he will be right up at the fast end of things. Meanwhile, Malarin still not able to shake Innis. Gap to third is about 3 seconds now. So here we are on board with Malarin. And now on board with Innis. With Malarin firmly locked in his tractor beam. Both drivers running slightly wide there. Maybe taking a tactical off-track. Let's try and carry every last little bit of speed down this long straight. And of course, here's where the slipstream will come in handy. Will Malarin defend the inside? He doesn't. Innis goes to the inside. Will Innis be able to take the position? Malarin round the outside. And no, it looks like Malarin's just able to carry so much more speed than Innis. I think Innis playing it a little bit too safe.
Yeah, it takes a lot of confidence to go around there on the outside and hold it like he did.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we've got the two no slots, no glory cars fighting each other. That was Bright getting a little bit on the grass. They remain Bright ahead of Winslade. Winslade goes to the inside, however. Not late enough on the brakes.
This battle here could actually turn into the reverse grid pole, with Winslade at the moment holding it.
Could
obviously,
indeed.
Pavel Kurzmanek's in obviously the higher class, so he'll be wanting to get past. But then it'll be a case of, does Gareth challenge his teammate and take points away from him from the championship to gain himself the reverse grid pole, or does it give it to his teammate?
That's a very good point, Steve. So currently, once Kurzmanek gets this pass done, which he should do by the end of the straight, we will have Bright on reverse grid pole position. There we go, as we see a pass at the front. Glugageki was ahead of Knight, which we didn't see on screen, but we've just seen Knight get back ahead of Glugageki. Although, having seen Knight just disappear from the standings briefly, I'm wondering if that was perhaps an internet disconnection momentarily.
Quite possibly there.
Meanwhile, up at the front of the MP3 field, we have Malarin still just hanging on ahead of Innis.
And remember as well that these two drivers are battling for 4th and 5th in the overall standings.
They are indeed. Oh. As we see, oh, that's Bright going for a spin. Oh, that's hugely unfortunate for him.
And that's Meesters in the lone Cool Camel there with just pulling up to the back of Russell Bright after his spin.
Indeed. You see Innes setting another fastest lap of the race. And there he is, tucked just behind Malarin. I'll tell you what, as I mentioned last time Innes was sat in a racing car, he won at USF, his first win in quite some time. And I reckon he must be thinking, honestly, chances for a win are like buses. You're waiting so long for one, and then here he is fighting for the lead just one race later.
Yeah,
he tries around the outside, but looks like Malarin's going to keep the position for now.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see Mark doing so well here. It's testament to he has got speed. And he does do it really, really well. But unfortunately, he's been caught up in a few incidents and accidents, and he's knocked his championship standings. But it's nice to see him doing so well here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I think he's missed quite a few races. I think just life getting in the way. But yeah, I'm sure he's looking for a bit of a reset at the end of this season, and he's switching to be a full-time member of the Cool Camel racing team for the next series. So yeah, I'm sure he's looking forward to making a full-time return.
Yeah, he's very welcome, and we look forward to having him at Cool Camel Stable, and we look forward to having some good results as well together.
Indeed. As we see, Kuzmarek now in the LMP2 car has caught up to the back of these two. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Of course, Kuzmarek will obviously be a lot faster than these guys. And you certainly get the impression that Kuzmarek could have made it past quite a while ago, a good few corners ago, but he waited to try and make sure that these guys both have a fair fight.
Yeah, it was interesting to see whether Marquez could actually take some sort of advantage over Tom Malarin there as Kuzmarek passed. Whether he could have actually just latched onto the toe from behind him and just dragged him past him. And unfortunately
yeah,
for
we did
Mark,
see
it didn't
Innes
happen.
pull out. Yeah, we did see him pull out to the outside lines to try and get the slipstream, but it wasn't quite enough. Meanwhile, the leaders have got the white flag. These guys won't have had the white flag just yet. They'll get the white flag this time round. Malarin still just about managing to keep ahead of Innes. Well, Malarin just got two wheels into the grass there. Innes about as close as he has been. Innes running wide, trying to find the space to get past, but just not able to do so.
There's a little bit of a break there, so it's going to be difficult for Mark to close up again. He's got to get a really good run out of this first corner.
Well, that is the white flag. So this is the last lap. It's the last lap for these guys as well. Maxwell in the LMP2. He started from the front. He's led from start to finish. Not but a foot wrong. Absolutely brilliant drive from Maxwell. As he comes through the last corner and crosses the line to take the checkered flag. As we see Knight and Lukakeki taking second and third. Meanwhile, this is the battle for the lead of the LMP3. And this has made Malarin go defensive. There we go, coming up to the zone. He's forcing that inside line.
That was close.
Not quite enough space. It was close indeed. Although Malarin's not got the best exit. It is to the inside. It's a drag race.
He's in front there.
Looks like he might have got this position. It is to the inside, late on the brakes. Malarin just about keeping it around the outside. There's a little bit of a touch. And Malarin looks like he's got the inside line. And it's a spun.
Oh, unfortunate. So unfortunate.
And Toma gets through. Innes down to third.
Oh, wounded.
And there we go. Malarin uncontested for the last few corners to take the win. Tome takes second. Innes will be kicking himself in third.
That's a wizard 1, 2, 3 there for LMP3.
It
Great
is
result
indeed.
there for the teams. And Tomal in there will be extending his lead in the championship, as we see the prototype championship there for Watkins Glen. Race 1 is Stephen Maxwell, followed by Aaron Knight. Fantastic result there in his first race. David Dlugokeki, followed by Pavel Kuzmarek, Dan Rice, Gavin Kelly, and Dom Parker. Yeah, fantastic result there for Stephen. First, first place, and he go from lights out to checkered flag. And same with Tomal in a hard-fought battle there with Mark Innes, with Xiao Tome bringing up second, followed by an unfortunate Mark Innes, Mark Brown, Russell Bright, Rich Meesters, and Gareth Winslade bringing up the rear.
Indeed. But I have to admit, that was an absolutely fascinating battle at the front of the LMP3 field. So that's it for race 1. Coming up, we have part 2. So we have the race 2 with the reverse grid. There are links to our socials. They're also in the description. If you'd like what you've seen, come and say hi if you want to race with us. If not, well, still come and say hi. We don't bite. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Mark. Joining me has been Steve.
Yeah, take care everybody. See you in race 2. Bye for now.